Imagine knowing that everything you experience is a reality you are creating. Imagine finally understanding that with the right belief system, you never have to be sick. Imagine never having to worry or have fear about anything because you are in control of it all. What will you do when you find out this is all true and what you have been told to believe is false? It is time to learn the truth.
Hello everybody, and welcome to another episode of Reality Changer Radio. It is Tuesday at 6 o'clock, and tonight I'd like to do something special. I have been talking for quite a while about the power that is inside you and how you can create every single day, and you have the power and the free choice to do so or not. Tonight what I'd like to do is I'd like to read you something from a book called The Amazing Power of Deliberate Intent. It is by Esther and Jerry Hicks. You know them better as Abraham Hicks. And they're some of the foremost authorities on the law of attraction and manifesting. And what I'd like to do is touch base on a chapter that has to do with what I constantly talk about, and it's whether or not you're deliberately creating or living by default. You manifest 24/7, like it or not, whether or not you want to believe it, that's what happens. The people that seem lucky are just more aware with less doors open, even though they don't even know it sometimes. And one of the things that I always try to get across to everybody is, imagine the guy at work who smokes dope at lunch and is always late and never gets fired. His belief system is such that he doesn't care, or he honestly believes it doesn't matter. Deeply believes this. While you sit around and you're kind of whining to yourself, or maybe to others, that it's not fair and you work your butt off and all this, and it's just not right. And so you start to resent him, you start to resent the company, you start to resent your boss who doesn't do anything about it because you think something should be done about it. But make no mistake, because of the way you believe, if you were to do that, you would instantly get fired. Because your vibrations are such that it is not right for you. So by doing that, you would throw out a whole lot of guilt and fear and worry, maybe not even knowing it, about getting caught. And hence, with the law of attraction, you would bring that onto yourself. Whereas the guy that really bothers you, he doesn't have any of that. And so his intent is to not care. So along those lines, what I'd like to do tonight is read this chapter from the book. Maybe not the whole thing, but it's entitled, if you've got the book, it's chapter 7, and it's entitled, You Are Manifesting the Essence of What You Are Thinking About. When you begin to understand the vibrational nature of thought and the way the law of attraction responds to it, you then begin to understand how it is that you are the creator of your own reality. Everything about your life is coming to you in response to the focus of your thoughts. But until you understand the vibrational nature of those thoughts and discover a comparative way of recognizing them, you have no deliberate control over your own experience. Deliberate creation is much more than just deliberately choosing a subject of attention and focusing upon it. For a while, It is a good thing to deliberately choose the subject of your intention. You must also feel the vibrational content of your thought in order to really be in deliberate control of your creating. And this goes back to what I talk about in my classes and workshops, that it is your feelings that matter most in all of this, because these are the actual things that are going to be sending out that vibrational energy into the universe, and that's what the universe is going to work with. For example, you may be focused upon the subject of financial abundance, but this subject, like all subjects, has great variety within it. On one extreme is the thought of the presence of financial abundance, while on the other extreme is the thought of an absence of financial abundance. And so, in a simplistic sense, every subject can be seen as two: what is wanted and the lack of what is wanted. And this goes hand in hand with what I talk about also, is that you get what you concentrate on. So whenever you hear me talk about not worrying and not caring and this kind of thing, I don't mean that you just give up the ghost and die on a certain subject. Is that you have to switch your focus and your intention and your manifesting to, how does my life look without it? And not, oh, I really don't want that. Each subject has a varied vibrational range. When we say to our physical friends, you get what you think about, sometimes they feel confusion, for they believe that they have been thinking about achieving more money, a healthier body, a better relationship, or more satisfying work. People will sometimes argue that they have been definitely thinking about more money, and they do not understand why, if what we say is true, more money is not coming into their experience. But the subject of money has a varied vibrational range. The subject of money ranges from a magnificent, ever-flowing abundance all the way to the desperate absence of abundance. So, merely focusing upon the subject, or the idea, of money is but the beginning of the necessary focusing or molding of the vibrational energy required to bring money into your experience. Directing your thought to the subject of money is a good first step, but then it is necessary to understand where, on this wide range of vibrational possibilities relative to the subject of money, you actually are. Which end of this vibrational range are you leaning toward? Are you a closer match to the magnificent abundance, or are you a closer match to the desperate absence of abundance? You can easily answer this question when you understand your emotions. For this is through emotional awareness that you understand the vibrational content of your thoughts. The way you feel as you are focusing thought is really what matters most. And what is going on here is just a reiteration. All of us that know and understand this will explain the same thing. Your feelings are most important. How you feel about something is going to trigger the energy that is released from you. Okay? This is really what's going on here. Your feelings control your energy. Your thoughts lead to feelings, and your feelings lead to action, and that leads to results. Well, your feelings dictate the energy that is released into the universe. So, while you could be thinking about money, you could be thinking about money in all the wrong ways. You could be thinking about how much you don't have, or how great it would be if you had some. Okay? So whenever you are in the whole experience of, if I had this, then you are in the experience of lack. And when you're in the experience of lack, those are the feelings you put out there. Those are the thoughts, even if you're not conscious of it, that are coming to fruition. And that is the energy that you're putting out there. So no matter how much work you do and all the other stuff, when you're in the experience of lack, none of this is going to matter. You're just not going to get what you want, what you think you're trying to achieve, because you're going about it the wrong way. How does the thought feel to you? Some are beginning to acknowledge you get what you think about. But we would like to clarify that statement further by saying you get what you feel about what you think about. Again, how you feel about your thoughts. So where are you on the sliding scale of possible vibrations relative to the subject of money? You may often say that you want more money, but if you consistently feel disappointed or even fear about not having enough money, then your vibrational offering regarding money does not match your statement of desire. And whenever your vibrational offering is where your point of attraction is. What is actually happening in your experience relative to the subject of money always matches the essence of your vibrational offering. Observing what is manifesting or happening to you can give you an accurate reading of where you are on the vibrational scale of possibilities. And that awareness can be extremely helpful. But it is possible for you to be aware of where you are on the vibrational scale before things manifest or occur in your experience, and that is a much more satisfying way to approach the deliberate control of your life experience. And what they're really talking about here, if it's not abundantly clear, is that it's ultra important for you to be aware and in touch with your feelings on a daily basis, especially if you're attempting any manifesting work or if you're attempting any life change whatsoever. Because what is going on with you is a direct indication of how you feel. Plain and simple. Because you do manifest 24/7. You don't have an option on that. So, however you feel during a certain period is going to dictate what comes to you. So you have to be mindful of that and be very careful about your feelings. Don't attempt any type of manifesting work unless you've gotten yourself into a good space feeling-wise. You know, if you just had an argument with somebody, you don't want to sit down and try to, manifest a new car. This is just not how you do it. You have to get yourself into the right mindset and into the right vibrational feeling in order to match the vibrational energy that you're going to put out there. It is never too late to change direction. You can either be aware of your point of attraction post-manifesting, after it happens, or pre-manifesting before it happens. Of course, we encourage having conscious awareness at all times about the direction you're headed. It would be like traveling in your vehicle, having a particular destination in mind, being on the wrong road altogether, and traveling in the opposite direction of your desired destination, but having no awareness of that you were going in the wrong direction until you arrived at the wrong place. You can always correct your course, but the sooner you are aware that you're off your path, the better and more satisfying your journey will be. The key to joyful, deliberate creating is to choose the subjects of your thoughts intentionally, while paying close attention to how each thought feels. For unless you are aware of how the thought feels, you have no understanding of where you are on the sliding scale of vibrational possibilities. In other words, if you are upset about the lack of money or you're worried about the lack of money, that is not the time to attempt to manifest money. You need to start shifting your focus and understanding that without being in a positive feeling experience, you could end up doing exactly the opposite of what you're attempting to do. I talk about this all the time in my classes. Misery loves company. And the greatest example of not being in the proper feeling experience is a hypochondriac. Their belief system is so programmed to believe that there's something wrong with them because of all the programs that they've had about, well, if you have this, then you must have this, and all this other stuff. Just like when I talk about Angelina Jolie, and she did the double mastectomy, you need to be in the right, people would say the right frame of mind. People give it all kinds of reference. But I don't want you to misunderstand and misinterpret exactly what is being said here. It is all about your feelings. It is all about how you feel. Regardless of what label you put on it, don't misunderstand the message, the true message. And the true message is going inside and discovering how you feel about anything. And how does that make you feel? You'll hear me say that a million times in session and in workshops. How does that make you feel? And you have to be honest with yourself. You don't have to be honest with me because you can't change my reality. But you will be putting a roadblock up to yourself if you're not, because now you have to worry about whether or not I believe you. And that's just another whole thing that you don't want to get into. But you have to be honest with yourself about how you feel about any particular item, whether it is a thought or an action or an experience. How does it make you feel? Does it make you feel happy? Does it make you feel sad? Do you feel panicky? Do you feel this? Do you feel that? And then by digging out the negative blocks, if you're not feeling positive about something, then you can reverse the process. But again, the way that you feel about an item is going to bring about the vibrational energy that you put out there. So just like they say in the book, don't give yourself lip service that you want this and you want this and you want that, and at the same time get all twisted because you're doing all this manifesting work and it's not happening, when really you're doing all this manifesting work, but right after you do it, you go, God, I hope that works. No, that's not the way this stuff works. You can't have it both ways. You cannot be doing all this stuff and then turn around and go, oh, I hope that really works because, oh, I really need this money. No. You see, because if that's what's going on, you were never in the proper feeling experience to send out the correct vibrational energy. So you're not in a match. Okay? At the very best that will happen is nothing will happen. But you run the risk, and I warn you, you run the risk of creating exactly the opposite of what you claim you desire. If you believe that you're with lack and you're worried about money and you talk about how little you have and all this other stuff, you are generating a vibrational situation for not having money. And so anything that you do, manifesting wise, will only enhance that lack of money situation. It won't turn it around because you're not there yet. You need to be focused and you need to change your feelings about money or a car or whatever the topic is. If your feelings are not matching what you think you want out of the whole deal, you're not going to get it. And your belief system is key to your feelings. If you really believe it's all going to work out, then you're going to feel positive about what you're doing. If you have doubts about whether or not it's going to work, then you're going to have, I don't know how to put this, I'll come up with a new saying, you're going to have doubty feelings. You're just not going to be there, because in the back of your head, there's this doubt that's lingering. And you're going to be subconsciously saying, or even consciously, again, we go back to, oh, I hope that works, and oh, geez, what if this doesn't work, and what am I going to do, and maybe I should have a plan B, and on and on and on. So you have to be dedicated to going inside and becoming one with your feelings. Feel your body, feel the energy, feel everything that happens to you. What does it make you feel like? You know, your emotions. How does it make you? Does it make you want to cry? Crying could be good sometimes. Crying is a release. Crying could be an emotional reaction to happiness, or it could be an emotional reaction to sadness. But what's most important is that you become in tune with your feelings and that you stay honest with yourself. Because if you don't, none of this is going to work the way you want it to. It's going to work in the opposite. And why? I didn't make the rules. I am only the messenger. Jerry and Esther are only messengers. We're trying to explain to everybody how the system works and how you can take advantage where no one ever told you before. The system is going to be the system long after you're gone and reborn, and long after you're gone and reborn, and long after you're gone. The system is the system. How you work within the system is purely up to you. Up until now, most people haven't had a clue as to how to work the system. They've been told that all the answers lay on the external, which is the result of the system. So that's not where your answers lie. You know, your external, your bills and your car payments and your mortgage payments and on and on and on. Your external, the jewels and the cars and the boats and the houses and on and on and on. Your external, the job and the promotions and getting fired or getting laid off and on and on and on. This is not where you look for answers. You look to see what the results are. That is where you'll see it, on the external. Then you have to go inside and get in touch with your feelings and figure out why you did what you did. Because make no mistake about it, it's all your creation. And by understanding where you need to be in vibrational harmony with the law of attraction, as far as your feelings go, then you can start the most important process of becoming aware of your feelings, being honest with yourself about your feelings, and then making sure that you are in a vibrational match with your feelings when you do your energy manifesting. Okay? Now, that's about all I'm going to say about it tonight. Let that settle. And in the future, we may do some more readings from some of the other books. I really want to get more messages out there, and want you to understand that it's not just me. I don't just dream these things up out of my head. These are people that I totally respect and have followed, and believe me, I've used the stuff that Esther and Jerry talk about, and it has worked wonders for me. Okay? And so it can work wonders for you. So the book is The Amazing Power of Intent, of Deliberate Intent. It's by Esther and Jerry Hicks. Okay? I suggest you get it. I suggest you get anything by Esther and Jerry. I totally do. You know, I'm going to suggest you buy my book when it's available. But it doesn't matter. For right now, I want you to go out there and I want you to research everything that Esther and Jerry have to talk about. Because they're high on my list. Them and Bob Proctor. Okay? Before I go, I want to remind you of a couple of events that I'm going to be at this week. On Thursday evening, from 7:30 to 9, I'm going to be at the Owl's Lantern in Fullerton, running Class 2 of our Law of Attraction Basics. Thursday night, we're going to deal with worrying and fear and how to remove those worrying plugs out of you and how to peel back everything and take a strong look at it to discover why you shouldn't have to worry. And on Saturday, we're doing a major event at the Learning Light Foundation, Manifesting Wealth, Love, and Abundance. And what we're going to do, it's a 3-hour workshop, and I'm going to be showing people exactly how, number one, how we got into this whole mess. Number two, how you can remove the blocks that are preventing you from manifesting the wealth and love and abundance that you so richly deserve and deeply desire. We're going to be doing actual techniques in the workshop. You're going to start changing your life right then and there in the workshop. And then I've got a free gift for everybody that shows up. You're going to love it, to take home with you. And then we're going to have techniques that you can take home. But like I said, you're going to start changing your life Saturday from 2 to 5 at the Learning Light Foundation in Anaheim. It's $35 to pre-register. It's $40 at the door. And I strongly suggest, if you're interested, if you're really interested, make the commitment to yourself and go to my website, whatyouthikiswhatyouget.com. Click on the classes button and find the RSVP phone number. This is what I need to do for you. I can't just hand this all over to you. I could, it'd be real easy. It's no big deal for you to go to my website, but make a commitment to yourself. If you want to start changing your life on Saturday, then go to my website, click on the classes button, and find the phone number for the Learning Light Foundation, or look it up online. When you call them, tell them, look, I want to register for the Saturday class from 2 to 5 with Dave Dickey. Okay? And they'll set you up. They're great people. It's an awesome place. And we are going to be changing people's lives down there. So I strongly suggest that you come to my event and bring a friend. Come on. It's time that everybody start manifesting the wealth and love and abundance that they truly deserve and start living life on your terms. Okay? And that's it for tonight. I hope everybody has an awesome night and an awesome life, and I will be talking to you again next week.
All right, well, that's it for today's show, folks. I hope you enjoyed it and are a little closer to living life on your terms. Join me next week, won't you, for another mind-blowing show about the truth of reality. Until then, my reality is not your reality. What are you creating today?